All right. Now you can operate that yourself, Bud.
Oh, thanks.
Step on the dead man's pedal here, or keep it down always for the running. You step on the right pedal, and you stop and swing. That's your brake. This is your gong.
Does your company make any really large equipment, Mr. Treadway?
Yes, they do. Some so big it has to be shipped piece by piece. For example, an electric furnace we made for a large motor company is 330 feet long.
I thought so. Those are the kind of machines that displace men.
Mass market industries don't modernize to save jobs, Mr. Makarov. Their aim is to increase production. That's how employment is created. The only way, in fact.
General statements don't mean much to me, Mr. Treadway.
All right, facts then. I know in 1 year these people spent $9 million for what you call labor-saving machinery. That same year, they increased their payroll by 40,000 men and $88 million.
Funny how a guy with facts can break up an argument.
I suppose you think that's funny.
Oh, so you can't take it, huh? Don't you think we'd better look up for folks? It must be nearly time for lunch.
Yes, I guess you're right. They'll probably be looking for us. Come on, Nick.
Okay. Nick, please be careful during lunch. Dad looks on things the same way Jim does, and he might take you seriously.
But I am serious.
I know, but promise me that you won't start an argument.
All right, if you say so. But I won't enjoy myself.
Now, we'll expect you for dinner tomorrow, Mr. Makarov. And please come early. Then we can have a chance for a nice, long talk.
Thank you very much. I'll be glad to come. Sorry I have to break away now, but I must get back to school. Au revoir.
Goodbye, Mr. Makarov.
I enjoyed meeting you all. Sorry, but I must go. Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Babs.
Oh, boy, was that a meal. I could go for chow like that all the time.
You do, and you'll wind up in a sideshow.
Well, did I behave all right?
You were fine. Only don't misinterpret Dad's approval of Karl Marx. He thought you were talking about relatives of Groucho and Harpo.
I don't believe I know them. I'll see you in class, Babs. Adios, linda mia.
Now, I won't take no for an answer. You're coming to dinner, too, and like it.
Hey, Jim, how about showing Dad the Hall of Science? He'll go for that.
I'd be glad to, Bud.
Fine.
How about you, Mrs. Harrison? Would you care to join us?
No, thank you. I want to show Jane and Barbara some of the things in the Hall of Electrical Living.
I'll say, Electro, the motor man, will be doing his tricks at 2 o'clock. Let's meet there.
All right. Come on, Jane. Barbara.
Well,
This way.
Yes. That's what I call smart. Making time the theme of the home exhibits.
I don't get it. What's smart about it?
Well, if there was one thing a woman in my day never had enough of, it was time. It was her master. Some had two, if they had a bossy husband.
Don't tell me you're against him.
No, indeed. Only against slavery. Domestic or otherwise. That's why I like electrical engineers. They signed our Emancipation Proclamation. Beautiful kitchen.
Neat, isn't it?
Neat? Nothing. It's a paradise. No one who hasn't cooked over a wood stove by the light of a kerosene lamp can really appreciate what it all means. The steps it would save.
The good old days, eh, Grandma?
Yes, and anybody who wants them can have my share.
This is the new electric dishwasher. That's keen. Bud and Dad would sure go for it. They're the official dish dryers. Tom's going to get me a dishwasher like that for my birthday. It's the last thing he ever does. But, Mother, your birthday was last month. Well, I've just decided I'm going to have another. This is nice. And very modern. Masculine, too. Miss, is that a three-way floor lamp? Yes, madam. Step over
You
here.
should show Nick these rooms, Barbara. It's a subtle way to set his feet in the right path.
But what do you mean, Grandma?
Well, even artists have to live, so there's no harm in showing them how you'd like to do it.
Oh, that's old-fashioned. There are more important things today than homemaking.
Maybe, but I don't know what they are. I always figured raising my family and keeping your grandfather well-fed and happy was pretty important. So did he.
But Nick's different. He wouldn't care if you fed him sawdust. He just isn't interested in such things.
We put away a mighty good lunch for a fellow who doesn't care.
But he doesn't care, really. He's an idealist. You should hear him in class. He talks more about Aristotle than he does art.
Did he tell you how Aristotle got the time to be a philosopher?
No, I don't believe he did.
Well, he talked the richest woman in all Greece into marrying him.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, with a great deal of pride and pleasure, I present to you Electro, the Westinghouse Moto Man. Electro, come here. And here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, walking up to greet you under his own power. Stop. You see, all I need to do is to speak into this phone, and Electro does exactly what I tell him to do. Sometimes. But I don't see why I'm telling Electro's story when he's perfectly able to tell his own. So let's listen and see what Electro has to say to us today. All right, Electro, will you tell your story, please?
Who? Me?
Yes, you.
Okay, Toots. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be very glad to tell my story. I am a smart fellow, as I have a very fine brain of 48 electrical relays. It works just like a telephone switchboard. If I get a wrong number, I can always blame the operator.
Thank you.
And by the way, I see a lot of good numbers out in our audience today.
Electro, behave yourself.
Quiet, please. I'm doing the talking.
I'm sorry.
That's the most remarkable thing I've ever seen.
Boy, what a guard that guy'd make on my football team.
Now, Electro, a moment ago you were bragging about being able to count on your fingers. Do you remember that? Well, we're going to find out about that. Now, do you remember how many children were born at the same time to a certain family up in Canada? Do you remember that? All right, let's see if you do. Count them on your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Well, that's absolutely correct.
Why, he's almost human.
If he wasn't so big, I'd take him for an engineer.
All right, now, Electro, I know you enjoy these, and I'm really going to try to give you a nice pleasure out of these. So here you are. You got that? Now, hold on to it. You may now smoke this cigarette. Go on. Oh, yes, Electro, you do need a light, too, don't you? All right, here you are. And, folks, he's only 2 years old, too. Just learning.
How can he do all those things, Jim?
He's full of motors, gears, cams, and photoelectric cells. You could fill a book with all the electromechanical principles involved in the thing.
All he lacks is a heart and a brain.
If you ask me, I'd say he had nothing but brains.
Well, then all he lacks is a heart.
He's not the only one.